It's Joey from the Disney Channel. He's opening for me, but I became his social media guy.
I'm the most famous guy in Spokane, Washington.
Can you scroll? That guy's like, who's that?
Almost Alpha.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Almost Alpha. Why was that funny?
It was just so awkward to just like, and we're starting a show. I'm not saying you're awkward. What we're doing is awkward.
I thought that was a great introduction.
Let's do it. Yeah, I think so too. I wasn't laughing at you. I'm more laughing at like, what are we doing here?
I thought that did so good.
Breaking news out of the 7 Eckies studio. Almost Alpha guys caught at USC on either side of the barricade. Welcome to episode 2 of Almost Alpha, everybody. Look at us.
I thought he did a great job. Baby Betty thought it was a great job. Right, Baby Betty? Hey, Betty, if you think I did a great job, why don't you go to sleep right now, okay?
Oh, this
Watch
is
this.
Yeah.
Watch this. We'll see what she thinks.
Yeah.
Betty, if you think that was a great intro, then please go to sleep when I say goodnight to you right now. Good night, Betty. Okay, good night, Betty. Good night.
It's like ASMR.
Good night, Betty. Good night, Baby Betty. Sweet dreams.
He does the same thing to his audiences. And the negging is over now. No more negging. Taylor, you and I just got pretty much done. I had to drop out of the last San Diego dates, but we toured together.
We're done touring together. It'll never happen again.
Yeah, you don't think so?
Thank God, I'm done.
I thought we had fun. I thought touring with you was
thought we had fun.
Yeah, we went to Dairy
true.
Queen.
We went to Dairy Queen. I mean, when's the last time we went to Dairy Queen?
It's been a long... I didn't even think Dairy Queen was still a thing. I thought it got canceled when people started saying that calling gay people queens was not okay. So I've been to Dairy LGBTQA+, but haven't been to a queen.
No, they like it now.
They do like it? It's back?
I think you can call people queens.
Let's call RuPaul about this. I'm going to call RuPaul real quick. Is that okay, guys? Yeah, I'm going to call RuPaul. Hey, Rup. It's RuPaul. Hey, are we allowed to call you guys queens? You guys. The gays? Are we allowed to call the gays queens? Oh, okay. I'll talk to you later, Rup. That was not RuPaul. That was Logan Paul, and he said something a lot worse that you can call gay men, but I'm not going to repeat that one on the air. Logan Paul did say that on the phone just now. He said the bad F slur.
I have a phone call to make.
Yeah, but go for it. We got time.
Hey, Queen Elizabeth, are we allowed to call you people queens?
This is huge.
She says yes, but this phone call is going to be really expensive, long distance.
Yeah.
To hell.
Oh my gosh. Oh, you called Queen Elizabeth with a Ouija board.
I quoted her. I didn't know she was there.
Yeah, dude. Turns out Mormonism is how you don't go to hell. Everyone else went to hell.
Is that true?
Yeah. Can you imagine you're the Pope? You spent your whole life being the Pope wearing that silly hat. And then you go to hell and they're like, oh, sorry, man. It was Islam. And you're like, fuck.
I hate it when that happens.
That would suck. You spent your whole life wearing a robe, freeballing it, and a silly hat. That'd be the worst.
But that means people kissed your fingers a lot.
I guess.
Would you kiss my finger?
It depends on how holy you are.
I have 3 holes. Wait, how many holes do I have?
You have a lot more than 3. I'll kiss your hand. Give me that little feeble, shaky hand.
Can I tell you, I hated that so much.
Yeah.
My fingers are wet now. I'm so mad.
I have an overproduction of saliva. It's the big lips.
Why are my fingers wet?
God gave me dick sucking lips for no reason. I don't know why. God gave me, I am what Rachel Maddow would look like if she had DSLs, and neither of us need them.
That's so thoughtful. You painted a picture.
Yeah.
I did like 6 pictures I never really cared to see it. I wiped my fingers on my pants and they're still wet. I don't know.
You learned that from Howie Mandel. All right. Taylor, I want to talk about our tour a little bit because for me, it's the first time I've ever been on a purely stand-up tour. I've been doing stand-up for forever, and I've never done half of the places that we performed comedy
I'm so good to you. Is that what you're saying?
You were so good to me. You brought me along. You actually did do me a big favor.
Yeah.
It's very nice for you.
young Joey.
On the road.
On the road, I did.
Yeah.
Took him places. I don't know if anyone's ever been on the road with a teen heartthrob, but
only you and Dan Schneider.
It's wild. A lot of things happen. One, Baby Betty comes on the road with us too.
Yep.
And
that's the first caveat of you hiring me to go on the road with you was that I also have to watch Baby Betty while you're up on stage.
this is not a joke. This is part of the gig. Is if you're opening for me, you have to keep my dog alive while I'm on stage.
I'll tell you what, it's
Careful.
It's more.
Careful.
It was a lot more to chew than I thought it was. How do you say that? It's a lot in like the beginning of the tour when you were like, you got to watch Betty while I'm on stage. I was like, oh, I love dogs. Hell yeah, I'll watch your dog, of course. And then in reality, that dog has a panic attack when you are up on stage and you toy with her because like half of your bits are like Betty, Betty, Betty. Like it's and she knows your set too. So when you're getting to the end of your set and you're getting all those applause breaks and the audience is going crazy, she knows it's happening.
Half my bits are about Betty.
Yeah. You should just do your set with her in your arms. I honestly, I said that to you 8 years ago or months ago or however long we've known each other.
Yesterday.
Her upside down in your arms, she would fall asleep. She wouldn't, the audience would forget and it would be acute. It's like if Jeff Dunham just held the puppet and didn't do anything with it.
I hear what you're saying, and one of my favorite things, probably my favorite thing, is when you give me constructive criticism on my act.
Here's what you can do. Yeah.
It really just fills up my soul.
I got a lot of notes.
And I appreciate it. You're a dog handler.
Yeah.
Who I let do stand-up comedy on my show. Yeah. I hire you to hold my dog, and I let you walk on stage, and then when you go to watch Betty and you can't hear the show, I apologize to them, and I'm like, I have to bring him with me because he holds my dog.
I'm little Igor for you, carrying your dog. It's my favorite part of me and Betty hang out.
I get jealous a little bit, honestly, because she loves you.
Oh, dude, do you know what she also loves? Snorting ketamine after my set.
No, she doesn't.
She loves it. That's like her, literally after she knows my closer, she does just little tippy taps and I'm like, it's K time. It's K time, Betty. And she gets a little spoon. She
does not do ketamine. She does do CBD.
She does do CBD.
She's got some separation anxiety.
Oh my God. And then some, dude. She freaks the fuck out.
She was in a hoarding situation, you know. I have pictures.
She also almost escapes the green room so often. Like if we're ever in the Midwest somewhere and the manager is like more portly than another manager, I have to tell them, if you're going to stand in the doorway, you have to at least give me enough space to slip by when you inevitably let the dog out.
And he always says too, though, he goes, I'm only saying this because you're too portly.
You're portly. It's a nice way to say overweight. Portly.
Is that what that means?
I used to think it was porkly, like a pork, like a pig.
That's what it should be.
But it's portly, I think.
A great thing about traveling with you and Betty is because Joey is a teen heartthrob from years on Disney Channel.
They know.
So when we're at diners, sometimes we love a diner. We're at a restaurant, you know, and I pay for the food. I'm a great headliner.
Great, you're my boss.
I'm your boss.
Great boss.
But I often hear, "Oh my god, look, it's so cute." And I would say 60-40, they're talking about Joey, not Betty.
Yeah.
But so, like, I genuinely, this is not a bit. It's not I literally never know if they're so excited for the cute thing being Joey Bragg from Disney or Baby Betty from My Loins.
Do you know why? Because we have the same fan base. We both of us are huge with kids 8 to 16 and elderly people without a TV remote that can't change the channel. Those are our two big demographics.
Side note real quick, is Disney Channel watched by elderly people? Like, have you ever seen the statistics on that?
I don't know, probably.
Because my favorite statistic I read, look up CW demographics. It's the greatest information that's ever been shared. We're gonna pull it up. I think, like, how old do you think the people are who watched CW? Be honest.
I would say like 14 to 20.
Right. The average, the target audience is 18 to 34. The average age is 58.
Whoa.
58.
My dad's watching CW. I know why my dad is watching the CW, though.
58.
For those tight Riverdale girls.
Because, like, Howard Stern always talks about how he loves all the CW superhero shows because he just loves superheroes.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. Because you're a 58-year-old man.
Yeah. Me and Howard Stern have a lot. Who was I just talking to that said I reminded them of a young Howard Stern? Oh, Ian Bagg. Ian Bagg won't stop telling me how I remind him of a young Howard Stern. And I'm like, what are you talking about, Ian? What does that mean? What are you talking about?
Can I be honest?
That's Howard Stern.
That's the worst impression of anybody I've ever heard in my entire life.
Tell me, Beetlejuice, why do you look the way you do? Why do you look just like a little goblin? That's a pretty good Howard Stern. I don't think I've ever done it before.
So bad.
That's pretty good. Robin, the private parts.
I think
Pretty
you
good.
have like, impression dysmorphia like I do. I have the same thing where I think I can do a really good Kermit the Frog.
Yeah?
I think I have the best one.
All right, let's have a Kermit the Frog off right now.
But then when I hear what the actual sounds like, if you've never heard Kermit the Frog, I do a really good Kermit the Frog. But then if you hear Kermit the Frog afterwards, it's really bad. But I think it's really good.
Let's do it. Let's have a Kermit the Frog off. Go.
Why are there so many songs about rainbows? I know it's bad.
It's pretty good.
But
here we go. Ready?
Kermit the Frog here.
That's way better.
Way better.
Hey, I'm Kermit the Frog. I am married to an obnoxious pig, and Jim Henson's hand tickles my throat.
I don't watch the Muppets or Sesame or whatever that is, so I don't really have any references
Looney
except
Tunes.
I do a killer. It's not Looney Tunes.
You're too young.
I am. Hanna-Barbera?
Yeah.
Hanna-Barbera. Something I wanted to talk about while we were sitting here. When we were in, where were we?
I'm not done talking about how cute you are. Can I finish?
Oh yeah, please. What's the opposite of an egg? You're pausing me.
See, Joey says mean things. I say nice things about him. Can I tell you guys? Please pull this up. So we were in a hotel. I prepared. We were in a hotel in Spokane. And there was all these high school kids dressed like adults who are this next generation is insane.
Yeah,
and
the future leaders of America.
So there's like a future business leaders of America thing. And these kids there was hundreds of them, right?
Yeah.
They're in elevators riding up and down with little speakers. And like, it was very confusing because I was on the top floor and like I was from the lobby to the top floor. They didn't get off.
Yeah.
And I had the same thing happen from the top floor to the lobby. They're just hanging out in the elevators.
It's the new cool place to be.
This is the future business leaders of America. But there were so many of them. But I sicked them trying to be, because Joey has a thing where his passion, besides pooping, his other passion is getting recognized.
I think, yeah, okay. Yeah.
I think those top
I do
two,
love it.
You love them both.
I love them both.
If you could get recognized while you were pooping,
Oh my God, it'd be a dream.
you would be so happy.
Or if I got recognized, people were like, would you mind? I know people probably ask you this all the time, but would you mind pooping right now in front of me? Like your
You're
videos
so
I like so much?
happy.
I'd be thrilled.
So but I remember he had a sad day. He was like, I didn't get recognized. And
Yeah, because these stupid future leaders of America are too focused watching fucking C-SPAN,
yeah.
and they're not watching Liv and Maddie.
But
It's like all their other cohorts.
tell me if I'm lying, but I said, hey, look, it's Joey Bragg from the Disney Channel. And these kids swarmed him like he's the Beatles. He's too young to know who the Beatles are, but it was wild. Please play the clip if you have it. I sent it on the Instagram.
You say this was wild. This is what I call a Tuesday.
So this is after going let's Joey from the Disney Channel, and then they got more, and then they got more, and then they got more. And like, look how the happiest person there.
Oh, yeah.
It's not the kids. It's Joey from the Disney Channel.
I'm thrilled.
And by the way, he played a character named Joey. I'm a historian of Joey Bragg. On Liv and Maddie, he played a character named Joey. Look, Joey is
Look
so
at this,
happy.
dude. Do you know what I'm doing? I'm marketing myself for when these people are inevitably 21 and they can buy tickets to our shows.
Yeah.
Look at that.
He is in heaven, and I'm just his. I suddenly went from he's opening for me, but I became his social media guy.
Yeah.
Look how happy Joey is.
Of course I'm happy,
He's
dude.
can you go back to his?
I'm the
face?
most famous guy in Spokane, Washington.
Can you scroll? That guy's like who's that? But scroll back to like 40 seconds maybe, just like freeze frame on his happy face. Like look at that guy.
Look at that.
I've never seen joy like that. But we had people. I did it again on the way out. This is my fault. This was very masochistic of me. But I was like on the way out. Random group of girls who weren't there. I was like, hey, it's Joey from the Disney Channel. They followed us around the corner.
Yeah. Because they
followed us far away.
They did. And the whole time they were saying, I'm pretty sure that's Taylor Williamson from Live at Gotham in 2009.
That's not what they said.
Yeah.
Listen.
Like, that's heartthrob Taylor
I was
Williamson.
wondering about America's Got Talent. I've had my years of this. It's your turn. I'm happy you can experience it.
Pass the torch.
I passed the torch.
Drew Barrymore gave it to you, and you gave it right to me.
Yeah.
I love it. That is awesome. It's funny. That brings me joy. Even watching that brings me joy.
That's great content.
I'm
right
relevant
there.
again, dude.
It was honestly wild.
If I'm ever having a down day, I just go wait outside a high school.
I do that.
I go wait outside of high school. I wear a Jillo shirt and I sing like, "I'm up with the sunshine. How we doing, darling? I lace up my high tops. You were right the first time. It is me. It is I, Joey Rooney, Joey Bragg. And to put my high tops. Stand long, ready or not. Now show me what you got, hey yo."
That's so creepy, pal.
That is creepy. The voice is the creepiest part, or the what you infer. I think that's creepier.
What's a Jillo shirt? What's a Jillo shirt?
My character was Joey, and the character that I dated was named Willow, and so we got together, and it was Jillo.
I gotta catch up on.
You gotta catch up, dude. You gotta binge. Homework assignment for all our producers in the room: binge Liv and Maddie before next episode. Then you'll really know what we're talking about.
But what's another great thing about traveling with you is after my shows, we go back to the hotel. We get dropped off at the hotel or whatever, and Four Seasons, and we don't share the hotels we're at before the show. But now that we're safely, that's what I learned this from Mel B. A celebrity. You know, when you become a celebrity, you learn from other celebrities,
of course.
And she taught me that as a celebrity, you don't post, "I'm here at Olive Garden in Glendale having a great time." You post like hours later, "Had a great time at Olive Garden at Glendale." This is something you haven't learned.
This is not something I've not learned that.
You do not know. This guy.
Costco, I'm letting everybody know.
"I'm at Costco in Escanaba, Michigan. Come on out, everybody. Come say hi. Come recognize me.
I need validation.
Please." So we get dropped off at the Four Seasons, and good night. I go good night. You go good night. Our hotel rooms are next to each other. I go to sleep. Maybe I watch.
And that conjoining room door opens.
Taylor, are you awake? No, that doesn't happen.
Taylor, wake up.
Maybe it does happen.
I threw up.
Did that happen?
Yeah.
Sleep? That's really creepy. Did you do
I
that?
threw up in my room, and so that's why remember when you woke up and I was snuggling you? That was because I threw up in my room.
Oh, I thought you just wanted to keep me warm.
That too.
No, but in real life, what happens? We both go to sleep. Good night. And then the next day, you're like, "Dude, Taylor, guess what I did? I went to bed. And I was like, you know what? I gotta get out. I FOMO for like Spokane. When am I ever gonna be in Spokane, Washington again? You're insane. This guy, he goes to, there's this giant radio flyer thing in Spokane. People in Spokane know what's up. It's huge. It's a radio flyer wagon, but it's huge. And it's a slide. And I saw it during the day. I was like, oh, whatever. Guess who in the middle of the night decided I'm gonna go on that slide?
Yeah, dude. Because like, first of all, the best thing to do after, because I get nervous tummy before our shows, and I want to be sober for our shows, obviously. So I'm not like smoking or drinking.
Don't drink
or anything.
on the job.
I don't drink on the job.
Ralphie May, rest in peace. He says don't drink on the job.
Oh yeah. Did Ralphie May also say don't eat 13 quarter pounders on the job? Rest in peace, buddy. After our shows.
Poorly.
He was poorly. Yeah, Ralphie was pretty poorly. He was one of the first.
That's a good name for a podcast, by the way. Pretty Portly.
That is good.
Should switch it
for pretty overweight women.
That's so good.
Pretty Portly podcast.
That's so good. Should we produce it?
Should you?
Hey, if you're portly and attractive, please write in phone number right here.
Send your phone number directly to Taylor.
Well, call me for different reasons.
I need to explain myself. First of all, we're in Spokane, Washington. Yeah, I'm getting flown out. I'm like there in a beautiful hotel room. I'm FOMOing. I want to live. I'm gonna roll a joint, or I'm gonna take my vape that I flew illegally through TSA with, and I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna see what the nightlife of Spokane has to offer. And do you know what happened to me, by the way, when I was walking around Spokane at like 2 a.m?
While you're hanging out in a homeless encampment?
I was hanging out in a homeless encampment, but do you know what you can find at homeless encampments? The best fentanyl. The best fentanyl. Do you know where you find the best fentanyl? The dead guy. So I was walking around this beautiful park at 2 a.m. in Spokane, Washington.
Legit, it was scary during the day.
It was scary.
I watched Betty
wasn't.
There. It was sketchy during the day.
You're such a wuss. It was not.
It was legit. You didn't go there. I went
Yes,
there.
I did.
During the day. You went there during the day and during the night?
Dude, I literally...
You returned?
I rode that bike, that Marriott bike. I rode it like 12 miles. I rode it for like 4 straight hours.
I walked Betty, and there was parts where I was like, this is not safe.
Yeah, because you're a wuss, dude.
Because I'm alive.
So am I.
Yeah, but
and you know what? I'm alive.
Tetanus,
I'm alive with better stories. I might have tetanus, but here is the scariest thing that happened to me when we were doing. I was walking through this park at like 2 a.m, and I felt like something was looking at me, and I turned because I was a little paranoid. Also, I had like just smoked a joint, so I was like that kind of like.
I was a little extra paranoid. I was on drugs.
I was a little extra paranoid. And I turn around and there, I am not kidding. I love wildlife. You guys, if you watched the first episode, you know I knew what a white-faced capuchin was. I wanted to be Steve Irwin. That was my goal in life before I realized you had to actually read books to do that. I turn around
do some other stuff
in Spokane and I'm being charged by like a mangy looking raccoon. I'm charged. Like I've been around raccoons. I used to feed raccoons cat food outside my apartment.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Because they have like 2 weeks ago.
They have opposable thumbs, so it's really cute to watch them grab stuff.
That's insane, buddy.
I turn around and this raccoon.
Wait, can we pause for a second? You're feeding wild animals and they keep coming back.
It was like a mom and a dad and like 3 babies, and they would stand at my sliding glass door where my cat food was, and they would make eye contact. The mom would grab a handful of cat food, pass it out. It was like a little assembly line of raccoons with little thumbs. It was the cutest thing you've ever seen. You have it's like a zoo.
You have rabies.
No, I do not. I didn't kiss them.
Have you tested?
For rabies?
Yeah.
No, but drinking water is getting more and more difficult. I turn around. There's a mangy. I'm not kidding when I say this mangy raccoon was like missing tufts of fur all over him. And I saw groundhogs too, which I'd never seen in the wild before. And one of them also was like missing a patch of fur. So it made me think like, and this guy was running at me, like doing the little like raccoon gallop. And I turned around and like I shit bricks. I didn't know what to. I pulled out my phone, put on my flashlight, was like, because I was like, am I gonna have to kick this raccoon like a field goal? And then it got spooked a little bit when I went like rah rah, and then it started to run away, and then I started chasing it because I'm the fucking alpha predator in Spokane, Washington, baby. And then all you saw out your window was me chasing a raccoon.
I would say,
yeah. See,
this is security camera footage from Joey's backyard.
Yeah, these raccoons, I'm telling you, dude, raccoons are brilliant. They have opposable thumbs. They're cute. where do they lie on the triangle scale between dogs, cats, and humans?
I can't tell you, I'm not with you on that thing, but after when Guardians of the Galaxy 3 came out, like my algorithm got some raccoons living in houses. And
did that not just tear you apart, Guardians of the Galaxy 3?
No spoilers, but yeah, it was
heartbreaking.
Yeah.
What a movie. What a film.
The shelter that Betty came from was in the thank yous.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun. Very Hollywood.
Yeah.
Very Hollywood.
But so listen, if anyone's ever been in New York City, like Joey was basically in the Central Park of Spokane in the middle of the night.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. Central Park, where the Sex and the City ladies hang out without a problem.
I don't watch this show, but I'm pretty sure they don't hang out at nighttime.
You don't know Samantha, Taylor. You don't know Samantha.
I don't know Samantha. She seems nice, though.
She's great. She's the best of them. And they fucked up by not bringing her back. They fucked up.
Oh, she's the one that wasn't...
Yeah, she's Kim Cattrall.
She's the one from Mannequin. Isn't she in the movie Mannequin?
She's from Big Trouble in Little China.
Okay.
But I'm on her side, not Sarah Jessica Parker's side. Also, didn't Sarah Jessica Parker kill somebody? Or was she just in the car when Matthew Broderick killed somebody?
Sarah, we would love to have you on Almost Alpha, and
we forgive you for the murder.
I think you made the right decision.
She was in the car, right, with Matthew Broderick?
He did it. It was his.
He did it.
His situation.
Wow.
Laura Bush did also.
Really? Wow.
Manslaughter is like trendy.
Manslaughter is trendy. For Laura Bush and Matthew Broderick, the two biggest names in Hollywood.
Have you ever
Caitlyn Jenner killed somebody?
Manslaughter.
What if you transition after murder? Do you have to go to prison as the person you were before you transitioned? Mark Wahlberg too. Oh yeah, but Mark Wahlberg committed hate crimes.
But
Mark Wahlberg blinded somebody.
He killed a guy. But let's not forget he's also he hurt someone.
You kill somebody drunk driving on accident. That's horrible. Yeah. You blind somebody because you're intentionally committing a hate crime. I feel like that's worse.
I actually hear what you're saying.
Speaking of
I would be in Transformers though. Listen, Mr. Wahlberg, we've all made mistakes, and I'd love to be in Transformers.
Mark Wahlberg's like, yeah, I got some trans friends. Yeah, male to female. They're like, oh no, a semi truck to a big robot. All my trans friends they go from vehicles to big robots.
What other impressions do you do? I love that.
I do them all. All bad impressions.
Do Scooby Doo.
Ruh-roh, Taylor.
I can do Shaggy for one word.
What?
Zoinks.
That's a classic word. If it's okay with you, I'm done with this bit, and I think we should move on to our main segment of the show today. I think our main segment today is therapy versus bottling it in.
Okay.
Now, I have been going to therapy a long time because my school required it because I got expelled from my high school and they made me go to weird therapy school because I was an artist and I didn't mesh well with those non-artist fools out there.
Well, how does weird therapy school work?
It's like, it was like independent study. So I go to a counselor once a week instead of a teacher who like makes sure I'm doing all my work. And then also at the end of that is like, how are you doing, by the way? And so that's where I like got used to going to therapy. And then I had a little stint on Liv and Maddie where I didn't. And then I started going about like 2 seasons into Liv and Maddie because of the mental toll it was taking on me. But I think my whole generation is a big believer in therapy.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that I wanted to bring up this topic because you, Taylor Williamson, are of the generation of bottling it in and suppressing like our dads do.
Yeah.
But now recently, you've been going to therapy.
Yeah.
Court ordered or regular?
I by choice.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
A lot of work to find them.
It is a lot of work.
Have you ever looked at like Psychology Today and like looked at like therapists to pick? Here's the thing about therapy. I know it's a wonderful thing. I was inspired by your therapy journey. You use the word journey a lot when you dabble in therapy. The word journey comes up. I thought
Because along the way you meet a few trolls before you find your princess. I have questions to ask you about your new therapy journey.
Oh, but so Psychology Today, though, when you're looking for a therapist, it's like being on a dating app.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are crazy looking, like insane. And like, I'm not even making jokes. Everyone go to Psychology Today, type in your zip code and just see what the options are for your town. It's wild.
Don't you want your therapist to be kind of kooky looking so that you know that they struggled in life?
No, because I don't care what anyone looks like. I don't care what they look like. I'm just like, that's the picture you picked. That's the picture you had. You took 10 pictures. That's the one you're going with, buddy. You're insane. I don't believe ugly is even I make jokes, whatever. I don't think ugly is a thing, but you can choose to like not take care of yourself and you can choose to pick a weird freaking photo, you know? I'm passionate about this on dating apps and on Psychology Today. That's the picture you picked? Like, I'll have sex with you. I don't care if you're my therapist or my date, but please.
I have kind of the opposite problem, and I do this bit on stage, and this is a real story. I have a new therapist that I got through Medi-Cal, like probably a year ago now. And when you're in Medi-Cal, you're scraping the bottom of the barrel of who's taking your insurance, because my insurance is whatever, not a PPO. It's a PP-ness or whatever. I don't know. It's so stupid. Cut that part. Don't cut that. Leave it in. Leave it in, pussies.
Oh my God.
My therapist that I got assigned to from Medi-Cal, my big issue, I do this bit on stage, it's a very true story. My big issue with her is that she is beautiful. She's a beautiful young woman who just graduated. And you don't want that?
I want a hot therapist.
I don't want a hot therapist. I can't have a hot. I've spent my whole life lying to hot people.
Yeah.
You can't be honest and vulnerable to somebody that would have been mean to you in high school. You can't do it.
Yeah.
And I think that it should be a law. Therapists got to be ugly. I think that there should be a sort of scale. Like, you know how when you're a cop, you can take that test and you can test too smart to be a cop. I think you should be able to test too attractive to be a therapist. And they're like, oh, sorry, you can't be a therapist, but you can be a sex worker.
Jesus Christ. I heard that, I don't know if this is true, but I heard TSA has the thing, like, if you're too smart, they won't hire you.
That tracks. What is too smart? The second grade education? Why is it racist? Where'd that come from?
By, to the TSA people.
Oh, like the race of TSA people? All right.
They're a diverse group of people.
Okay.
But the race of TSA, is it a tribe? Is it
well done.
What?
You did it. You got yourself out of that one. I didn't know if you were going to do it or not.
I didn't get into myself into thing. There's no thing.
All right.
I was on a thing.
Keep this in.
Keep it in.
Clip it. Clip it. Clip it. Okay.
Ugly people are bad, correct?
Ugly people need to be therapists. I want to go into a therapist's office, look at my therapist, and go, this person has been through it. This person knows what struggle is.
No, can I be honest though? I don't want that in a therapist.
Really?
That's my problem with therapists. I'm not even kidding, and I know this is crazy. And when you sign for a therapist, you get like a 10-minute free phone call session.
Yeah.
It's like calling a 900 number. Like they give you like a free minute, you know? Are you too young for 900 numbers?
Yeah, what 900? Yeah, so you call and
You talk to like a lady doing her dishes and pretending to be sexy, you know?
Really?
That's what they do.
Oh, like live, like sex calls?
Well, what do you think a 900 number is?
I don't know what a 900. I was just going along. Yes, anding your bit.
Look at this young child.
Don't know what a 900.
Dude, it's a 900 number. It's what you used to do when you like and then like you call these filthy numbers, and then like you talk to like sex workers, as you call them, and then like your mom then like 2 weeks is like, Taylor, why is there a bill for $3,000? And you're like, I don't know, I didn't do anything. Leave me alone, mom.
Leave me alone, bitch.
Why'd you get divorced from my father?
Probably for the same thing. He was probably also talking to the woman doing the dishes. Damn.
So...
Do you talk about this in therapy?
No, I didn't really do that, but I did actually. Pro wrestling had hotlines that were 900 numbers.
Really?
They were legitimately on WWF and WCW in the 90s. This is real life. This is me not lying at all for comedic purposes. I had they had 900 numbers that you can call and get insights. So like TMZ for wrestling, basically. Like a Hulk Hogan, like call the hotline right now. We're gonna tell you who's just signed with WCW, who's leaving WWF. But this is like old internet. This is like 1998. There was a number you can call, like 800 number, and then like press a bunch of numbers and press a bunch of numbers, and somebody like recorded the 900 hotline, and then you could get the scoops, whatever. But I never knew if like it was a scam. My mom was getting billed.
Wow, dude.
One time we did get we were billed really hard from using AOL. This is before you were born. But AOL 56K like dial up, and like you had to call a local number, but we called like the wrong number. So like she had a phone bill that was like thousands of dollars. You don't even know what I'm talking about.
I don't. This whole internet synced to the phone lines thing, that doesn't make any sense to me. Those are two separate things.
I feel 9,000 years old right now.
Yeah. You look 9,000 years old.
Thank you. But I had a hot doctor once. That was terrible.
Yeah.
I'm sure people have had this happen. People talk about it on stage.
Yeah, my doctor's kind of cute.
Carlos, have you had this? You've had your penis looked at a lot, Carlos. I had my penis looked at one time.
I usually get men, but I do have a hot therapist. She looks like Kylie Jenner.
Have you told her this is...
And I've told her that. I'm like, you look like Kylie. I always think of you when I see Kylie because I watch the Kardashians on Hulu.
And have you told her like is it weird for you that she's hot, or you're into it?
It's not really weird. I think I really needed a therapist at the time, and I didn't like my other one, so I picked. Actually, I had this like really like hipstery therapist in Los Feliz, and she didn't want to see me. And I felt like really like,
wow,
like, oh, am I not like cool enough to see this therapist? And I like looked her up, and she had like a trans like husband and all this stuff. And I was like,
she thinks you're a bigot.
Yeah, I was like, what'd I do? Like,
she looked at your Instagram and she was like, this guy's gonna
she
throw a brick through my window.
I think she did, and thought like, oh, I wasn't like open-minded enough, but she doesn't really know me, so I went and just got a super hot therapist at
Hell yeah.
West Hollywood.
Yeah, big, big fake boobs, not licensed. I told my therapist, just to wrap up my hot therapist story, she left Medi-Cal to go be a real therapist to real rich people, and so I couldn't see her anymore. I didn't even tell the fun part of this story. I'm going to right now though, so buckle in. I have had this therapist, I keep almost saying her name. I've had this therapist, and for like 8 months, I wrote a bit about like, I don't want my therapist to be hot because every time she's like, what's been bothering you today? I'm just like, oh, my penis is so big. Like, that's the bit. Like, oh man, I'm too rich and I'm good at really good at sex, I guess. And I've been doing this bit for a while. Like, I think it's cute. It's also real, very true story. I went up on stage on this show, and a few comics after me, this guy goes up on stage and he starts talking about how his girlfriend is a therapist. And then he's like, oh, but she's so hot. I'm glad she's not my therapist, because if she was, I would lie to her and I'd like tell her all these like silly things. And it was a very similar bit. And I got freaked out because I'm like so afraid people are going to think I'm always so hyper vigilant. People are going to think I'm stealing their bit, or I'm unoriginal, or I'm hacky. And it is kind of a hacky, it's an easy connection to make, but I don't think he stole it from me. I just think we're thinking along parallel lines. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to talk to him about it. It's fine. In fact, I was going to, and then he left early, and I didn't want to. How do you say that? Like, how do I reach? I don't want to be that. It's awkward. So I was like, whatever. We'll figure it out. We'll cross this bridge when we get to it. Then, like 2 months later, my therapist tells me she's leaving the practice, and it's the first time I get an email from her that's not through the doctor's office. It's through her like personal email. And so I do what any insane mentally ill person would do. Yeah. And I found every social media page she's ever made in her whole life.
Yeah,
I follow her dog on Instagram. And
wait, after you broke up, you followed her dog.
This is before we broke up. This is when
That's really inappropriate.
I don't really follow her dog, but I definitely check up on her dog constantly, multiple times a day.
That's even creepier than following
But
her.
I made a fake account so she won't know it's me. So on my therapist's real account, her second post of the day was her at a pole dancing class, which is like the hottest. No therapist should be at the sexiest YMCA class they offer. Third post was her anniversary post with her boyfriend on the beach. Her boyfriend is that fucking comedian from the show that did that. We wrote the same joke about the same fucking person. What are the odds of that? Isn't that crazy? Like, it's Los Angeles. There's millions of people here. What are the odds that her boyfriend's another comedian, much less somebody I know, much even lesser than that?
Yeah.
We wrote the same joke about. Like, that's crazy, right? I literally, after she left on our last session, I told her this. I told her all of this because it's a HIPAA violation if she were to tell him any of this. So if she does, it's a HIPAA violation. So if she does tell him any of this, I'm well within my rights to kill myself. And I will, and it'll be all her fault.
And then your cats can eat
And then my cats can eat me.
And then the episode of the podcast that I'm going to do with Carlos will be called Hungry, Hungry HIPAA.
Yeah. I also told the
get the
comic, Hungry Hungry Hippo.
Hungry, Hungry HIPAA.
Oh, HIPAA violation. Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you get
Because I drank this Red Bull. I'm like, I told the comedian, who I don't want to name drop on this because I just wouldn't want to make him uncomfortable. But if he wants to, I'll shout him out later. I told him about this, and I was like, we were in a green room, and like these other comedians left, and I sat him down, and I go, hey man, I'm going to make you really uncomfortable for the next like 10 minutes, but just hear me out. And I tell him this whole story, like it's crazy, and I know your girlfriend very intimately, and I've told her my deepest, darkest secrets, and he was like, oh, it's crazy. And then at the end of our conversation, he goes, you know what, I've thought about it, and you can continue to do the bit. You can have the bit. And I was like, oh, I was not asking for permission. This is my truth, my life. And
but this is my trouble with therapists. I want a therapist who's older, who's lived a life, who has not made mistakes, who is perfect and like knows what right and wrong and what good and bad is. But if somebody, this doesn't exist, obviously it's my problem. But like therapists, you become a therapist for the same reason you become a comedian, for the same reason you become a cop or a stripper or a doctor or someone who volunteer Peace Corps person. It's because your parents fucked you up.
yeah.
And you don't know what to do. So therapists, like I could go to therapy school and become a therapist, just how everyone can become a comedian now because the world ended.
Some of the worst people I know from high school are therapists.
But I have horrible people that I know close to me that are therapists, and they're awful people, they're awful parents, and like that's legit, like no hyperbole in this sentence. Like it's really gnarly, and like it's like, also by the way, your therapist dated a comedian. What the fuck is wrong with her?
Dude, I know. And after I told her all of this, she was like, oh my God, I wanted to say something so bad. A lot of your problems are the same as his problems. And you guys talk about the same stuff. And I always want to say, like, do you ever wonder like why I know so much about comedy bookers? It's like,
can I tell you
what?
the craziest thing? And I can't say the name of the person, you know, for HIPAA violations thing. I swear, I have a friend who's an actor who worked with a major actor who was horrible to her, bullied, traumatizing, terrible, the way you treat me. And she wanted to talk to her therapist about it, but she couldn't because her therapist used to be married to that person.
oh.
Demon of a lunatic.
How does she know who her therapist used to be married to?
Because, you know,
Google?
I don't know.
That's crazy.
But like therapists are crazy people too.
Would you have...
Everyone's insane is the point. So it's I'm really like it's hard.
What if you went to your therapist and you had a new therapist and it turned out to be Eva Braun? And you were like, oh, like I'm sure she's good at her job, but like she's married to Hitler.
So like some people, like you guys are saying, it's good to know she's been through some stuff. She gets it. Like people like that. People like their therapists that do drugs and used to do that because they know what it's like. You know, like I mean, you go to Psychology Today. It sounds like we're sponsored by them, but like it tells you like I'm a therapist. I focus on these and trans issues or drug addiction or whatever, because they're all addicted to trans.
I focus on superheroes and sports.
That's what you need.
That's what I need.
I'm a therapist. Superman died. I don't know what to do.
So I have a
Back. Spoiler alert. He came back.
he did come back. Well, a bunch of him came back. Let's be real. If we want to, we'll save that for the Return of Superman
Another
episode. But not only did Superman, but Hank Henshaw came back as Cyborg Superman. Red and Blue Superman came back, and then he came back with a mullet and a black suit. Okay, so I have a segment that I like to call Therapy Through History. Who are some people, Eva Braun can be brought up as one of them, that needed therapy because all she needed was a therapist to tell her, like, girl, this guy's not right for you. This guy's a genocidal maniac, which a therapist would never do, which is sad. A therapist should do that. Who is somebody through history that you think could have really benefited from a therapist? Like, I think if Genghis Khan would have went to therapy, his therapist would have been like, what kind of validation do you think you're seeking by all the murder and the raping? And then he probably would have been like, my mom wasn't very happy with me, no matter how good I was at shooting an arrow off the back of a horse. And then once she said that out loud, she's like, listen to that. Does that sound like something you want or something you think your mom expects from you? And then Genghis Khan would be like, I think you're right. And then the Great Wall of China never gets built, and a bunch of stuff happens just because Genghis Khan went to therapy.
So, but you say they should go to therapy. This guy who should not have gone to therapy.
Why? Because
we want to have a Great Wall of China.
Yeah, okay. The Great Wall. Do you know what the Great Wall of China is? The Great Wall of China is...
It's good for exercise. It's
like a really long bike.
It's like for the Chinese portly. That's why there's no portly people in China. Have you ever seen an obese Chinese person?
I've seen pandas.
Animals are people too.
Yeah. Also Xi Jinping. Not the most fit guy I've ever seen.
Is he a portly man?
Yeah. His little belly sticks out from underneath his red shirt.
Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
He doesn't wear pants. Hangs around with Christopher Robin.
I think you're thinking of Tigger.
Watch it, buddy. I think I'm thinking of Winnie the Pooh.
Oh.
So is there anybody... Is there anybody
flirting right now?
Yeah, are we gonna fuck right now? Is there anybody that you can think of through history that would have benefited from therapy besides yourself?
Well, I think I'm benefiting from it.
I think you're benefiting too.
Do I seem different to you?
You seem, yeah.
Do I?
Yeah.
Because I keep telling every session, I'm like, I don't know what's happening here, and I don't know what we're doing, but I'm down for the process.
See, Xi Jinping. Comparable girth between Xi Jinping and Kim Jong-un.
Well, see, he's from North Korea.
Yeah, Xi Jinping is the president of China.
One time, speaking of Disney, if Disney has Winnie the Pooh rights, some of it,
he's not. He's public domain now.
Right, but they own Winnie the Pooh with certain circumstances.
Yeah.
Anyways, but I went on a date with a girl who played Cinderella at Disneyland like 14 years ago. And she didn't know that there was a North and South Korea. Like, I told her, like, my friend's going to Korea to see her family. She's like, she needs to be careful. She thought it was all North Korea. She's pretty, though.
Well, she was virtually a slave, so.
Cinderella?
Yeah. She didn't really get out much.
I thought you were already saying because she worked at Disneyland and that's how they treated her.
Oh, no, I'm saying Cinderella because she was, like, told to do stuff. I don't think she had access to the news.
She didn't watch much TV.
She's not known for that. You know who was, though? The portly people from Wall-E. The portly Wall-Eans.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Listen, I want to be your therapist. Can I be your therapist?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's be each other's therapist.
But I want to be the one that you call doctor.
That's a psychiatrist.
But I want to be I want to be a psychologist.
All right.
Are psychologists doctors?
Yeah. Yeah, they're
PhD?
doctors.
Yeah, I'm a doctor.
All right.
So, hi, Joey.
Doctor, thank you for seeing me. It's been a weird week.
What happened, Joey?
I don't know. I just, I'm doing this podcast.
Let's unpack it.
Okay. Yeah, I was
unpack it.
Okay, I was just about to. I'm starting this new podcast with this guy who's like really finicky and is so worried that everything's going to go wrong. I just want him to trust me, but it's like, do I feel like I even trust me,
Right. It sounds like you need to respect this person. It sounds handsome, by the way.
Yeah, no, he's a good looking guy. Yeah, no, it's I feel like that doesn't have anything to do with it.
He's probably like an 8, it sounds like.
Maybe in like Wyoming, but yeah.
But like for comedians, he's probably an 8. Like
he's an 8. Yeah,
comedians are ugly a lot.
Yeah. He's right under Chris Stefano.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he's a good looking guy.
Yeah. So, but what's the concern? Maybe you need to just relax a little bit.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe I'm the problem, and maybe he.
It sounds like you're a fucking loser, and this guy's great, and you need to chill out. You know, relax.
When I picked the doctor from psychology.com that specializes in being a dick, I didn't think it was about you to me.
I just think that you need to relax and compliment him more, and I think you'll have a better time.
All right.
Hey,
End of the bit. Hey Taylor, I just went to therapy.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you taking the time, taking me on tour, doing this podcast with me. I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else. So thanks, buddy.
Really?
Yeah,
You mean that?
I do.
You swear to the Lord?
I swear to the Lord Christ in heaven.
Really?
May he smite me down if a word of what I say isn't true. May he burn the fields that we harvest our crops.
Smite you down?
Yeah.
Is that English?
Yeah. Old English.
Smite you down?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Can I be your therapist now?
Yeah, I'm terrified.
All right, ready?
Are you a doctor or are you like one of the cheap ones?
I'm one of the cheap ones, just a licensed marriage and family therapist.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, how's it going, Taylor? How are you?
Brian. I'm doing okay, man.
Yeah, it's good to hear. Good. I was looking at your socials. It's
Yeah.
does not seem like
Wait.
you're gonna be doing that good. I'm
Wait,
real honest with you.
Jesus Christ, Brian.
I saw these posts about you going on tour with some weird Disney kid. It feels a little desperate, you know.
Brian, no, I was just trying to juice up the ticket sales and also help a friend, work with a friend and help a friend.
Look at me.
Symbiotic. It's symbiotic.
Taylor, if you're upstream and you're flowing through a river and the current's got you,
Yeah.
you see a buddy out in the river, are you gonna reach out and try and save him and kill both of you? Or are you gonna save yourself? Taylor, you gotta let this kid drown. You're barely hanging on, Taylor. You're barely hanging on. You
Brian,
gotta let the people.
I don't like you investigating things we're not talking about. Is that
Listen, Taylor,
appropriate?
you hired me as your therapist / hitman. I'm
did
going
not.
to find. I'm going to kill this fucking kid.
I think you got me confused with somebody
This
else.
kid's ruining your life. He's negging you on the podcast.
That
He's
is
taking
true.
the spotlight. All these
true.
kids in the hotel are really interested in him and couldn't care less about you.
This
He
is
needs
true.
to fucking die for you to be happy, Taylor.
You know what? I changed my mind. I agree with you.
All right.
Yeah.
Now comes the hitman part.
Okay.
That's my theme song, Taylor. What do you think?
So how are you gonna assassinate him?
I'm gonna strangle the life out of this little pussy.
Okay.
This guy. Can I tell you? Can I tell you what's great? Is I'm gonna talk about this in therapy.
Yeah, good. I'm going to talk about this in therapy also.
Joey, really? Like I'm
Yeah.
worried about him. Like,
I'm going to talk about you in therapy.
does he know that? Like, does the assassin hitman therapist know that like you like to be choked? That's gonna like turn you.
Yeah. Joke's on you, Mr. Hitman. I'm getting hard as fuck.
Wait, that's the other podcast. It's called Chokes on You. It's a comedian who likes to be choked.
Yeah, it's and the Iceman or whatever that mobster hitman's name was.
Whitey Bulger.
Yep. Whitey Bulger, that's what I got in my pants after the therapist choked me. You think anybody would dare say that to Whitey Bulger? If he was like, I'm the meanest mobster in all of, where was it? Massachusetts? I'm the meanest mobster in all of Massachusetts. Call me Whitey Bulger. And they're like, ugh, you may as well call yourself Blackie Hard-On.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Let's change it, buddy.
Do you know he was?
Whitey.
You know he was like hiding in a small apartment in Santa Monica for 15 years.
Really? Whitey Bulger was?
I just watched a documentary on it. He was like one of the worst mobsters and killed a lot of people. A terrible person. And him and his girlfriend. And the way they found him is wild.
I did hear about they found him on Grindr. They were like Bulger. And they
Oh, what
for
happened?
years they were like, it's gotta be somebody else.
That's not true at all. Don't spread lies. No, I think actually we're still figuring out what the show is. Almost Alpha. I think every episode we need to spread a little bit of misinformation just to get the zeitgeist.
Whitey Bulger called himself Whitey Bulger because of his boner problem. He kept getting bulgies, and it was the most intimidating thing to see a guy with a boner and not, like, he wasn't insecure about it at all.
Is that true? Mm-hmm. Wow.
And he had beautiful blue eyes.
Oh, that's so nice.
Isn't it funny that that's what we talk about Whitey Bulger? We're like, what a mastermind, or what a piece of shit.
That's what
Beautiful eyes, though.
That's what women do on the internet. There's like a whole thing of like supermodel like criminals.
Oh yeah, like Ted Bundy and stuff. Gorgeous guy. Hey Taylor, if it's okay with you, I'm going to transition. I asked my loyal fan base to ask me some questions, and I'm going to read some, and then we thought we could both answer it on our podcast. That could be kind of fun.
I love your loyal fan base is my loyal fan base. My non-loyal fan base is your non-loyal fan base. This is great.
This is great. I got asked by Darren Lubega 2010, which is safe to assume this is a 14-year-old boy.
Darren Lubega from Mambo Number 5.
Really? Wow, you know what are the other members of Mambo Number 5?
Do you remember the song Mambo Number 5?
Yeah, it's so weird. Like
Lou Bega.
Okay, you're lost on me, old
His
man.
name's Lou Bega.
I trust you.
Oh my! No, your friend is.
Well, Darren Lubega, 2010, from Mambo Number 5, asks us. Oh my God, this Red Bull's coming out. Asks us, do you have any tattoos? Taylor Williamson, do you have any tattoos?
People who know me are very surprised to find out I have no tattoos.
Really? You seem like you would have a lot of tattoos.
Yeah. I've had temporary tattoos. Can I tell you one time I went to this thing and they had like kind of like woo-woo kind of lady there, and she like had like long-term temporary tattoos. I don't know what they're called, but like it was like they
henna tattoos.
No, but it's like a stick-on thing, but like it stays for like a month. And I got one it said "Remember who you really are," like on my arm here. It was like funny and stupid to me. And then I showed people, be like setting them up to like make fun of me, like, "What are you doing? Are you serious?" Every person was like, "That's really cool, Taylor." And
because they thought you permanently put it on your body.
No, they thought I was cool. No, you think they were just being nice?
Of course they're being nice. You permanently put something stupid on your body, and they're not going to be like, well, that's the worst mistake you've ever made. They're going to be like,
are you sure?
So nice to you.
I genuinely think people thought it was really cool.
No, I think they're being...
You think they were dying inside for me?
Yeah. I think you got posted to our shitty tattoos on Reddit afterwards.
Wow.
I don't have any tattoos, but I have thought about getting the entire Batman costume tattooed on me from neck down.
Yeah.
So when I'm naked, I look like when Bruce is like having a hard, like getting back to the Bat computer, and Alfred's bringing him tea, and he's like, "I just can't put it together, Alfred." That's what I want. Neck down,
full black.
Well, it'd be gray. It'd be gray with a yellow utility belt, black trunks, black gloves, yellow and black symbol on my chest.
And your penis also?
My penis will be painted black. It helps make it look bigger.
Painted or tattooed?
Tattooed.
Did you know that friction makes you lose? That's why they don't have palms tattoo, because like it gets like rubs off. So like your penis would have to be retattooed at some point. Actually, I don't know how much work. I don't.
There's not much happening down there.
Maybe it would stay perfectly black forever.
I've had a Sharpie mark on my penis since like high school. Haven't rubbed it enough to get it off. You'd be surprised.
Next question
comes from
Joey Michael Jackson.
Comes from
a joke he doesn't get.
Broski _ Emily said, "Gay son or thought daughter?" And then a frowny face. Ew. So gay son or thought daughter from Broski _ Emily.
Like, which one are you?
Which one would you rather have? A gay son or a thought daughter?
Thought is like a hoe?
It stands for that hoe over there.
Would you rather have your son be gay or your daughter have sex with lots of people?
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, your generation is all like, sex positivity. It's cool if you're being a slut is awesome. So I guess they're both wonderful things. Being gay is a wonderful thing. And being a fucking slut whore is a wonderful thing to your generation. So... actually now I see a lot of the videos be like, "What's your body count?" That's like 20-year-olds. You people love this stuff.
That's been a serial monogamous. My body count is abysmal.
Her body count is 10. What a whore. Disgusting. Like, anyways, you're all crazy.
And that's so gay son or thought daughter.
I think I'd be happy to have a gay son, and I guess I'd prefer my daughter. Yeah, I guess gay son is what I would prefer.
False. Do you know why? Because gay son is also a thought. That dude's having a lot more sex, and AIDS is a lot more dangerous.
As someone who's been called homophobic slurs more than most people, I'm offended by that.
I think you've been called a homophobic slur more than a gay man?
I've been called all this. I've been called many slurs.
By me?
No, I mean, you did not. Was that you that called me the N-word at Chipotle?
No. Okay. No. That was, I called you.
I've been called an N-word a few times in my life, and all in really nasty ways.
Who was calling you that? Blind guys? You're the whitest dude I've ever seen.
Just like mean people, like they just get mad and it's scary. So which would you prefer?
Gay son or thought daughter? I think a gay thought daughter. Because like being a lesbian and being a thought is fucking rad. That's cool. That's something I can get behind.
Can't get pregnant.
Can't get pregnant. Also nailing a bunch of chicks. Just like daddy always wanted to. What's a joke you thought was really great, but bombed when you tried it on an audience?
I mean, this stands out to me from when I was...
Oh, also from Billy Rydell 27. Billy _ Rydell 27.
I have most of my jokes are like that. But when I was 17, I thought this was so funny, and no one's ever laughed at it. As how come an orange is called an orange, but a banana's not called a yellow? I know it's not funny now, but I know it's not funny now. When I was 17, I was like, this is amazing.
That's
I'm the
pretty
next
good.
Rich Hedberg.
That's not bad.
Do you get the joke?
I do get the joke because bananas are yellow.
My other joke I think is so funny that no one's ever laughed at. No one's ever laughed at this once. It's kind of similar to what your joke, but your joke works. Is like I have no one's ever laughed at this even once. I go like I had a really hot accountant and like it was terrible because like I was trying to impress her, so I told her I made $60 million this year, so I was trying to, and then I owe a bunch of money in taxes now.
That's really good.
Do you get the joke?
I do get the joke.
I was trying to impress her and tell her I'm rich.
Yeah.
And now I owe a bunch of money to the
That's good.
IRS.
You should do that. You should do that in your next special. Taylor Williamson live at the Ha Ha Comedy Cafe. What's a joke?
Do you have one?
I did a joke in Tacoma I thought was really funny that bombed.
A lot of those.
Yeah, there were a few. The whole time we were in Tacoma was singing I went from Phoenix, Arizona, all the way to Tacoma, Philadelphia, Atlanta. And I kept singing that. And so I went up on stage and I was like, how's it going, Tacoma? I can't get that song. That you know that song, the Tacoma, I think it's the Eagles. Oh, no, it's Jimmy Buffett, the Aruba, Jamaica, baby, won't you take me down to Tacoma? I thought it was great, but based on your reaction and everybody else, I think I must have been wrong. Beach Boys. Yeah, not Jimmy Buffett. See, that's why nobody laughed.
Can I ask you a question?
You can, and then that's it.
How was your alpha-ness this week? Let me do a little check-in.
My alpha-ness was pretty good this week. Let me think about honestly, not the most alpha week for me.
Okay.
I think I went to I was at the Comedy Store on Monday.
Okay.
And there's like a bunch of people hanging out at the Comedy Store. I went from one end of the Comedy Store to the other to try and find somebody to talk to, and only saw people I wanted to avoid, and then didn't want to look like I walked from one end to the Comedy Store to the other looking for somebody to talk to and then walk all the way back. So I bought a $20 cocktail that I didn't end up drinking because I wanted to seem like I walked over there for a reason. And I like bought a cocktail and then was walking around with the cocktail until like all the ice melted in my hand because I just wanted people to think that I wasn't a loser. So that was not very alpha of me this week.
So on a scale of 1 to 10 on alpha, I'd say that's like a -2, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, didn't think it was gonna be that low, but all right. It's pretty alpha of me to admit it.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I thought that wasn't bad. What about you, buddy?
Here's mine. I really like this. So do you ever like look through your old emails?
Sometime.
Even like accidentally, like you're searching something, you find like, oh, I never returned this fan mail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I found like a fan mail from 2016.
Nice.
And it was from a couple. It was a nice couple. Dear Taylor, I use your first name because I feel like we're at the best friends stage already. My lady, I'll just say their names. I don't think they're listening. My lady Linda and I spent a wonderful evening with you at the comedy club in Portland a couple weeks ago. She's the beautiful librarian or whatever. I'm the retired guy. She's like,
He's the beautiful librarian. Oh, okay.
so that since whatever you were filling in the
He's carrying a bunch of
they're
books.
like, so like there's like, we love you, you're great, whatever, the whole email. Yeah, we can't wait to see you again. Here's our emails. Be well, stay funny, we love you. Bud and Linda. So sweet, right? Mm-hmm. And then I wrote back 8 years later.
Oh, you wrote back just now?
Replied to both of them.
Hell yeah.
So like it was like they wrote, that's so alpha.
Yeah, very alpha.
So like you guys, like they were both CC'd on the email.
Yeah, and then you didn't respond for 8 years.
8 years. But I'm just like, you know what? Only make someone's day.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because yeah, you know, like you ever forget if you don't buy someone a birthday present and then they hate you, but then like you 3 months later, like you got a birthday present, then they forget they hated you and they love you because they got a free present.
Yeah.
So like it's kind of nice to wait too long.
8 years later, this swinger couple's gonna.
So I go, Bud and Linda, my besties. I just found this sweet email and made me smile a bunch. Not sure if I saw it back, and they send you both all the love and well wishes. Right?
Alpha as fuck.
So I get an email from Linda only.
They broke up. They divorced.
This sweet, look at this sweet senior citizen couple, the nicest people, right?
Oh, is he dead?
The sweetest. So I sent them a response. Hi, Mr. Williamson. Thank you for the kind reply to our email. Sparing you the drama, Bud and I are no longer a couple. Breaking up about a month after your 2016 Portland show. I wish you all the best, and please continue to spread your joy of wonderful comedy.
You not replying to their email broke this elderly couple up. He was like, I went out on a limb. I sent an email to that nice little Jewish boy. And she's like, I told you you shouldn't have done that. Now he's not going to respond, and you put me on there, and now I'm embarrassed. And they divorced because of you.
But this is a story of my life of like, this is why like it's a nice reminder to never go, how's your dog?
Yeah.
I haven't seen you in so long. How's your grandma?
Ooh, they're always dead. They're always dead. Every time. If you ask, that's why it's like Schrodinger's grandma. You don't ask somebody how their grandma's doing. You're not supposed to.
But that was pretty alpha.
I think that was about a 7 on the scale of alpha to 10.
Right?
It's pretty alpha to respond.
Put yourself out there and just like be vulnerable and sending love.
Yeah, dude.
Sending
love over email to an old, no longer married couple. That's alpha as fuck.
Thank you.
And that was also our show.
Almost alpha.
That was almost alpha, baby. I hope you're listening. I hope you had a good time. I hope you stuck all the way to the end, because I know I sure wouldn't.
Thank you for anything you need to plug? Anything that people should know?
No, just keep listening to Almost Alpha every Thursday, wherever podcasts can be found, and on the 7Eckies YouTube channel. Like and subscribe. We'll love you forever. But if you comment, one of us will have sex with you. So comment something cool, comment a segment, or send us fan mail. All it takes is a little bit of engagement, and one of us, hopefully me for your sake, will have sex with you.
That's really weird, pal. But that's wonderful. And then also check me out on tour.
Yup.
TaylorWilliamson.com. Check out my comedy special, Taylor Williamson Live at the Comedy Store on YouTube, and check out my tour dates. Follow Betty on Instagram. That's really all that matters, at Betty the Puppy Doggy. And thank you all for your support and joining us on episode 2 of, we hope to have of 200 and 2,000. And we're so grateful, genuinely so grateful for your support and for coming on this journey with us.
Yep. Thanks for coming on this journey. And hopefully you send us something and we'll be coming on you, Journey.
Good Lord.